when you hear NAFTA mentioned, you often hear part of the negative NAFTA comments are about how NAFTA has been the cause of many, many job losses to Mexico or to Canada from the US. And it was in part responsible for some job losses, but the most of the job losses that have been, I guess, incurred from the time that NAFTA was enacted until now are really because of advances in automation and kind of robotics in the manufacturing industry, and they're replacing people. And that's the real reason these advances in automation and technology have displaced a lot of workers. But a number that a lot of people don't talk about is the job retention numbers. And this one really kind of surprised me as we kind of have gone through the past couple of years of renegotiating NAFTA, in that when the time that NAFTA was enacted in 1994, a lot of companies were considering closing up shop entirely in the US and moving their operations to Asia. And because of NAFTA, many of those companies were able to keep their operations in the US opened and open additional ones in Mexico and Canada, but retained those jobs in the US. And so a great example of how integrated our supply chain is the auto parts. Auto parts travel across the border at least 8 times, some up to 10, I've even heard 12 times across both borders, the US northern border with Canada and the US southern border with Mexico. So we kind of make a joke that there's citizens from North America. There aren't Mexican cars, there aren't Canadian cars, there aren't USA cars, there's North American cars. And this happens across multiple industries, not just the auto industry, although that is a major one. And so a really interesting fact that I have is that 25 cents out of every dollar of goods that are imported from Canada to the United States are made in USA content, meaning that 25 cents of every dollar, we've made something in the US, we've sent it to Canada, they've enhanced it in some way, shape, or form, and we're importing it back to the US. But 25 cents of that is made in the USA content. And 40 cents of every dollar coming from Mexico, being imported from Mexico to the United States is USA content, 40 cents of every dollar. Those are really impressive numbers about how our supply, and they really go straight to the point of how integrated our supply chains are. Next slide, please, Adam.